Hey everyone, welcome to my trading sessions. Before we jump in, let me explain the format. I trade key levels and typically see 2 to 3 trade opportunities per session. I usually identify potential setups 3 to 4 minutes before I decide to take them, and the actual trades last anywhere from 2 to 10 minutes. Unlike a lot of other trading content, I'm not focused on showing off profits. I'm focused on teaching the process. You'll see the real decision making, why I take certain trades, why I pass on others, and most importantly, how patience is the key to successful trading. Each video will cover one specific topic, things like reading market sentiment, preparing for economic reports, managing risk. I've cut out the waiting periods and condensed each session best I could to just the educational moments. But if you want to see the full unedited sessions, just reach out. I'm sharing all of this completely free because I want to help people learn how to trade properly. This isn't a course I'm selling. It's not a funnel to some paid service. It's just real education from actual trading sessions. One last thing. I'm doing this to help people learn, not as a full-time business. I got kids and life happening, so the content may not always be perfectly consistent, but it'll always be real and it'll always be focused on helping you become a better trader. Remember, good trading is about waiting for the right opportunities, not forcing trades to happen. Now, let's see what the market's going to give us today.
Hey everybody. So I'm recording in hindsight, right? I wasn't able to actually take a recording because of where I was today, which I'll talk about in a few minutes. I turned on my platform. First thing, I saw this huge trade. I was like, oh, wow, this is really great. But the problem was that I had lack of patience, right? I saw the trade. I thought it was great, but I didn't check all the other charts. And even though, yes, hey, we're coming in to the psych level there, and that would typically be an okay entry, pretty good entry actually. The problem is there's that VWAP right there, and the problem is my entry is 30 points away from the psych level. That means if I'm expecting it to actually come down to the psych level, I'm hitting 30 points of heat. $600 in the hole before I even start moving forward on that trade. I'm looking over here at ES and like ES is not bad, but there are successive volumes and bearish signals all the way down. It doesn't matter that it looked okay on the NQ. ES is saying, hey, I think we're short. And then we look over here to the NQ 32nd, and I have an ungodly amount of delta, red delta building up. All that means is that price is going to plummet in a second. And so looking at one side, I looked at everything else, and then I realized I made a huge mistake and I bailed on the trade. That starts me off $785 in the hole. And the problem with that is one of the issues in psychology, the psychology around trading, is that I now want to make up that 785 because, I feel like a loser. And I'm looking for my next trade, right? And I have to actually pause and take a second and think to myself, is it a valid trade? Am I going to make a good decision? And I'm going to make the decision because I'm upset the fact that I just lost. And it was a stupid loss to get to add to it. Now, the reason I'm having I come up with a good trade and everything's fine, but I'm not trading at my desk today, right? I'm out at a doctor's appointment, an all-day doctor's appointment, and by being out, I don't have my normal platform. I don't have all my normal stuff around me, and albeit that I thought it was going to be really cool when I was a very young trader, that I would be able to go to Starbucks or be on my phone and trade. That's all bullshit. Okay. The only place you should be trading is at your desk, focused on just your stuff. If you have to trade on a laptop, okay, but it should not be what you want to do. It should never be what you aspire to do. You should go to your location that you trade in. You should be there for an hour, hour and a half, and then you should call the day. That's it. So anyway, I've come in, I'm looking at this trade now. Okay, I realized my premise was completely wrong. I was saying bullish. We are definitely bearish. And I'm looking over here. We again have the red delta coming up. We have all these bearish signals on ES, right? So I'm expecting price to come up to the VWAP on ES. I'm actually expecting price to come up to our open / VWAP and in the opening range, right? Which is all right, really tight together. I'm expecting for that to come up. So this, as a short trade, actually makes a lot of sense. Secondly, or tertiary, I have progressive volume, right? 1, 2, right at the top here, and I have two sets of red dots, which is also progressive resistance. So we're moving. My 45 EMA pointing down, right? All these bearish signals are pointing down. Now, I might have already missed the trade, and that's okay. I mean, I hope I didn't, but I might have missed it because I was fooling around. I wasn't focused on the right stuff. If you look over here on the ES, right, I have, these little UE volume zones, 427, 311, and at top, what do I have? 5,000, 6,000, 2,000. I mean, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. It was obviously going short. So let's wait for this trade to get filled, and because hindsight, of course, I know it's going to get filled. And oh hey, and we have that little red triangle there. What's that? That is another bearish signal. That's actually off a 2-minute indicator that have that's a second type of trend indicators working in the background, right? There's actually, I have 5 different time periods that are actually running in concurrence. So they're all embedded in each chart, right? The chart itself shows 1 minute, but there's all these secondary time frames behind the scene, and tertiary time frames behind the scene, and it allows me to have confluence. And confluence is when different indicators agree with each other, right? So when I have a lot of things agreeing in a direction, it lets me know the direction I think I'm going to go. So, I'm a little bummed right now. I mean, not now, but while this is happening, right? I'm a little bummed because I'm like, I missed the whole move. I missed the move because I was dumb. Okay. Now this volume zone forms here, right? That's 3,000, right? So I'm probably gonna, I don't know I do, but I assume I'm gonna move my target right below the 3,000 because it matches up with the VWAP. So I might leave it there, but no. Yeah, I would move I'd probably move where that blue line is. Yes. Okay, so I'd probably move my target right down there. And probably also what I'm thinking is I'm afraid to actually place the trade because I made such a stupid mistake. But you can't be afraid. You got to treat each individual trade as a unique event, right? It can't be based on bias or past behavior, which clouds your judgment. It has to be based on, hey, irregardless of everything else that happened before, is this a good trade or not a good trade? And the reality is, if I leave it there and I have it at the back of the volume zone, which is a good place to go, I'm checking, make sure there's no news, no additional news. Why did I do that? Oh, because it's 9:58, right? So 10 o'clock, sometimes there's news. I'm checking for news. I'm leaving the entry on the back of the volume zone. I am waiting and waiting and hoping right now. And I'm finally being patient. So price could come up, could come, in an earlier day when I was younger, I probably would have moved that down to my psych area, my psych level, right? But that's actually not a good trade. That's a good target. I don't think that's a good entry though, because price is not going to come just to the psych level. It's going to actually go above, or is at least going to wick above. And the idea that it wicks into this volume zone is extremely high. Right? There's a lot of volume. And what does volume mean? It means there's a lot of sellers that are waiting to sell, right? So all these buyers are moving up towards it. It's going to hit all these sellers, and the sellers are like, "Hey, I want it, I want it, I want it," right? And it's going to push it down. Okay, now so what's going to happen here? So hopefully it's going to come down. Now, what I do have, okay, so I do have this volume zone that just appeared under the psych level, right? So that means this is now given me a range in which I want to trade in. Okay, the range is the top of the volume zone above to right below the psych level. So that's actually where I would set a trade. Now, how many points are that? Well, it's just about almost 30 points, right? So that's a good range. That is a good setup. Again, I might not get it. I mean, I know I got it, but I might not get it. And so I'm thinking that this entire time I might have missed it, but it's okay, because if I missed it, I missed it. There's always another trade. So I have it lined up exactly on that volume zone. And I think, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm attaching it right to the VWAP, or the VWAP, which is, if you look, in complete sync with the 45 EMA on that 30-second chart. And also what's there is that down super trend that exists, right? So they're all lined up. And then if you go over here to the 1 minute chart, it's right on the back of the volume zone, which is also right at the opening range low. And, and slightly above it is another set of red dots. So this is a good area, right? All these things agree that this is the area I want to enter. It doesn't mean I'll get it. It just means this is a good entry. Okay, now we're filled. Now what I'm going to do, well, you can see what I'm going to do. I'm going to move that target down, and I'm going to move it right below the psych level. I'd move it a little bit lower, but maybe that's where it's at. Oh, I know why. Look at that. That's 30 points. 29 to 50 to 99, right? That's 30 points. So that's $600, right? So if it hits target, it's going to take that 785 down to like 190, 195. And this is good, right? I have bearish signals above everywhere. I have delta where the red is, if you look at it, is starting to out advance the green delta, right? That makes me a little happy. I have all this resistance above it, right? It's going to be hard for it to get through. I have the 830 low and everything on the ES. I mean, this is a great area for a trade. And I have a super healthy target right down there at the 0-0, right? 0-0s are great targets, bad entries, great targets. Now, price, I actually think price is going to come down to the Asian low, but it doesn't matter. That would be optimistic, and we're not here to be optimists. We are here to take good trades. Okay, so yeah, it's going to fill. Okay, so now let's start talking about the next trade. Okay, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. Okay. So I'm at 170 now. So now I'm short 170. Now I'm just going to mention that if I was smart and not taking that initial trade, we would actually be done for the day. But I'm not. There was also a small little trade, which is not in here because I was, again, sitting in a doctor's office. So now we're at negative $10. So we've made up everything. There's now 3 trades, right? We don't want to really have more than 5 in a day. And what time is it? It's 10:50. Okay. So we don't have more than 5 trades in a day. The fact that it's 10:50, this is probably the last trade of the day. And let's see what happens. Okay, so if I'm looking at my 30-second chart, look at all this green delta. Holy cow, that's a lot, right? So that's price saying, hell, I am not interested in buying or selling. I'm only interested in buying. So price is going to continue to go up, but we're looking for that retrace, right? There's always going to be a retrace. It rarely just goes straight up because it eventually has to come down, right? So but because it's so bullish, right? I'm going to be looking at all these different levels. On the 30-second, we have the VWAP. We are above the VWAP, which means we're going long, right? We have the 45 EMA pointing way north. We got the blue super trend in here, right? The 30-second super trend. So we're waiting for that to come in, which again matches up with my psych level. I have progressive blue dots. I have progressive volume zones, right? This is a great entry. This is a great place. I know I just said psych levels are not great places to enter, but I'm not entering because it's a psych level. I'm entering because of everything else around it. Okay, so what I don't like is the fact that I got that volume zone at 1300 right there. But it is a small volume zone, right? It's not huge. Well, price is probably going to push through that. But given the fact, okay, this red delta showed up, that's normal. As long as that transitions to green delta, I'm cool. It is my last trade of the day. I don't think we're going to have it anymore. So this is probably my last trade of the day. And if I was smart, I would move that my target right below that right top of that volume zone. Oh, I'm not going to do that. Well, okay. Or maybe I'm just smart. Okay. So I moved on top of the volume zone. That's really good, right? Because I'm expecting price to wick through. 1300 is something where it would wick through, right? The one above it, 4,300, I'm not sure it's going to get all the way through there, right? It's definitely going to hit some resistance on the way in. Um, and that's a lot different than wicking through it. So how many points does that give me? 95. So it gives you 25 points, right? So I'll end up green for the day as long as I hit this target. And if you notice, the target's placed right above those, right on the bodies, right on the bodies. And if you look at the bodies, all the bodies line up. The wicks go up and down, but the bodies line up. Okay, and we're done. So that was the fourth trade of the day. 450. We're done. And that's it. See everyone tomorrow.